Hello, everybody, and welcome to Edging on Dunstan, a podcast where 4 certified Dunstan dunces dissect a cinematic masterpiece. In addition to our usual crew, today, and possibly for the upcoming weeks, we are joined by a special guest star, another orangutan enthusiast, Olivia.
Hi, guys.
And with our regular crew, I am Drew.
I'm Sam.
I'm Adam.
And now, let's jump right into the juicy orangutan meat.
Rutledge looks like he's in pain whenever he talks.
His pupils are always, at the very top of the whites of his eyes, and his mouth is always slightly open, kind of like a snail.
Yeah, it's like he has no upper lip. His teeth are always up front like a dog trying to ward off danger. It's like what do you call it? Like a show of aggression. He's he sees the monkeys getting all the screen time, and he's like...
He looks like an offensive stereotype from, the 30s. Where it's like, this is, their idea of what, okay, I don't want to say, gay people, but he looks like an offensive stereotype of, a Vietnam vet thinks a gay person is like. Look at him, he's got the middle part slicked down, he's got his teeth constantly out, ascot, white pants.
You know what? He actually looks like Trailer Park Freddie Mercury.
And his orangutan calls him daddy, so...
His orangutan does not call him daddy.
Oh, well, it
He
would.
refers to himself as daddy for his orangutan.
He wants the orangutan to call him daddy.
Correction,
I
thank
would
you.
give you speech therapy so you can call me daddy.
That's why this entire 10-minute segment takes place. They're trying to steal all these gems and jewelry so they can finance speech therapy surgery for Dunstan.
Yes, throughout this sequence, this is the epic heist scene where Dunstan Impossible robs Mrs. Della Croce's room, which is why we were looking at her cleavage. We were trying to get the clue that she has expensive jewels, and
that she has breast implants.
and that she has...
That's what that's why they put it on the cleavage so you can see the bra pads sitting next to the
Yeah,
dentures.
you can see the part.
Yes.
They're not really her delicious mommy milkers. They're all
Oh,
fake.
God.
Hey guys, have you ever noticed that Dunstan's kind of horny?
Yeah, Dunstan loves to...
Dunstan kind of horny, and Dunstan doesn't really like women very much.
Or
Yeah,
does
now that
he?
you mention it.
All right. I'd like to... In the first 10 seconds of the 10-minute bit we watched, we got the line, "The human body can only stand so many centuries of inbreeding." And I'd like to talk
this
about
movie
that.
for 8-year-olds.
I'd like to talk about that for a hot minute. I wish that they had that scene a little bit longer in the beginning, because there's no way to preface that. What? And not only that, the people he was telling this anecdote to were laughing.
Yeah, they were
hysterically.
delighted by this anecdote.
What was he talking about? The Rutledge family line?
Yes, as you can see, I'm very ignorant. I'm quite fancy. That's why I look like I'm being pinched whenever I speak.
Speaking of pinching, he had this wonderful Virginia Slim type device
Yes.
that was like a protractor that you'd use in math class,
Yes,
but it was just holding a cigarette.
flaccid,
Interesting.
but
Flaccid protractor.
Interesting you refer to it as very elegant, because I wrote down that I'm pretty sure that exact cigarette holder is what made smoking uncool again.
I just read my note and I looked down and my second note I wrote was, "Dude flosses with a fucking door." The gap between his front teeth is unacceptable.
Oh man, it's so bad. I don't know. I've only ever seen him in one other live action movie, that being Matthew Broderick's Inspector Gadget. I don't remember the gap in his teeth being that accentuated. I'm not sure if it was prop teeth.
Get the London look. You know those commercials? No. God. My first note was just the word "ugh" underlined and in quotes.
That's a very productive note.
Thank you.
I also do want a quick touch on the fact I really love that sick bird of storing the champagne by the furnace.
Robert Grant, our dear Jason Alexander, comes down, asks Lord Rutledge how his stay is, and Lord Rutledge just roasts this boy in the entire hotel chain, saying that he could have comfortably bathed in the champagne, it was so warm, had there been any soap in his room.
But there was not soap.
This scene was so upsetting because I realized that I was starting to enjoy the movie on its own terms.
Startling.
But then Lord Rutledge, once he sees that Mrs. Della Croce is leaving, whips out from his jacket a monkey radio with which to contact Dunstan. Lights out, guerrilla radio, everybody.
Yeah, I'm not sure if is that just an early cell phone prototype, or is that because Otherwise, it'd be ridiculous for it to connect straight to a hotel phone.
Are you kidding me? Lord Rutledge isn't going to Lord Rutledge is not going to trust Dunstan with his cell phone.
I thought it
Not in
beeper.
1990. He'd
Yes,
be
it was a
calling
beeper.
calls.
It was a
It was
beeper,
beeper,
right.
like a 90s drone
Good.
lord.
Okay, I was gonna say, if you give him the ability to make outgoing calls,
Yeah.
we're gonna have some zoophilia cases coming.
Sus.
He gets a prostitute named Hilda up to his room. With as horny as Dunstan is, that would not surprise anyone at this
I couldn't be
point.
shocked.
On the wonderful
Dunstan,
subject,
he drank the denture water. He a freak though.
he wants to swap spit with
Oh
Mrs.
my-
Della Croce.
Jesus
Man.
Who does it though?
On the subject of zoophilia, we get two moments that really suggest that Dunstan is really into that. The first one, he's watching Planet of the Apes, and he literally applauds, and then everyone claps when he's watching Planet of the Apes, and the monkey lady kisses the human man, which shows us what he's looking for in a relationship. And then toward the end of the scene, he kisses a 10-year-old boy on the lips.
This is some troubling subtext. Not only is Dunstan a child predator, but he is also a menace to society.
Really. A recurring theme I noticed as we watched this little segment was how similar it was to many different plot lines on my favorite hit television show, Law and Order SVU. I can't even lie. There was a similar plot line to someone scaling up a building into prearranged rooms, sneaking in, and panty raiding. That is an actual plot line
man.
on Law and Order SVU.
But was orangutan? Question mark?
Was he ever caught?
Yes, is caught because TV,
Okay.
but is not orangutan. I'm
Not
sorry.
orangutan.
Then I rest my case.
It's
True.
really interesting you say that too, Olivia, because actually, Dick Wolf was the script doctor.
Incredible.
For Dunstan
Incredibles.
checks in, yeah.
Dick Wolf, my college nickname. Sorry, I had to say that. Too good an opportunity.
Right.
Dunstan literally opens up Mrs. Della Croce's underwear drawer and starts wearing her panties on his head.
Yeah, not only that, he makes like the big kissy face, but it's kind. If you turn the frame upside down,
Yep.
like it looks like a slip of the lip. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's
Slip
making
of
the
the
big
lip.
a slip of the lip.
Yep.
Like it looks like.
That's the legal term.
All right, a little bit further back, towards the beginning of the 10-minute interval we watched, we get Dunstan dressing up to go to work, as his daddy calls it.
Charming
Yes.
scene.
Yes, he sees a picture of two monkeys with names on their shirt, and I guess that's only for the audience, because how freaking stupid would it be to just have shirts with monkeys' names on them? I don't know. They don't look alike. I feel like Lord Rutledge could have told them apart. I don't know why he needed the monkey shirt except to tell the audience there is a monkey who is missing.
Monkey is missing.
Monkey missing.
This is one plot point that I really want to pick up at the end of the movie, but I'm really confused about Lord Rutledge, because he's in that photo with the two monkeys, and there's a subtext of that photo that says it's like a circus photo or something.
Yes, absolutely.
And so is Lord Rutledge just like a circus trainer who's pretending to be Lord Rutledge?
That would
If
explain
so,
why
how
he's-
did he fake Lord Rutledge?
That's why he's so over the top in his fanciness.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is an
Exactly.
interesting
That also
subtext
does
there.
explain the human body can only stand so many centuries of inbreeding.
Oh my goodness. Lord Rutledge is not an offensive stereotype for like a gay person. Lord Rutledge is a circus performer's idea of a rich man.
Incredible.
I could have bathed in that champagne.
That's what they do,
Oh,
right?
and right after he gets dressed, Dunstan gets dressed to rob the MILF of the Majestic Motel's room. There's this awful swivel shot reveal. It made me nauseous to watch. It was so fast. It was like being on a tilt-a-whirl. It wasn't a reveal. You just saw him in a different outfit. It was nothing. It didn't need to happen.
Yeah,
There's a lot of big camera swings in this for some reason. There's a lot of camera movement.
because
going
monkey
on.
swing.
Like, I know this was like mid-90s where they were starting to get more experimental with like crane shots and merry-go-rounds.
But
See, what you don't know is that Dunstan actually filmed the movie. He's the director of cinematography.
when they said, the shot doesn't look good, Mr. Dunstan, he went...
Exactly.
But the shot Adam's talking about in particular, it looks like somebody's just peeking a camera around the corner to get a look at this ridiculous orangutan
Yeah, it's
dressed
not-
all in black,
It's
ready to
not
go rob a
stable
MILF.
at all.
One of like the undercurrents of the film is just the running thread of voyeurism.
Speaking of which,
Let's get to that.
Let's look at this from a Freudian perspective.
Hold on. Let's save that to the end. Let's try and stay
Okay.
chronological here a little bit.
Dunston's kind of horny, bro. He grabs Mrs. Della Croce's breast pads.
Or chicken cutlets.
Yeah, her chicken cutlet breast pads. He's drinking her denture water. He's wearing her panties on his head. And my favorite part, though this doesn't really tie into the sexual aspect, he starts wearing all of her hats. But if you look closely, they're obviously shots of Dunstan taking the hats off that they just reversed. And so it's just this poor orangutan who does not want to wear a hat that people keep on shoving hats on.
Oh, my favorite part of that whole thing is all of the noises they edit in post that he's supposed to be making. Because, his mouth is not moving.
Yeah.
But they're really good noises, Adam.
They're
really good noises.
That's some good
I'm gonna
Foley.
be honest, they made the scene for me.
It's
just
not
the
a-
hat on.
It's not even like back in the 60s when they put peanut butter in Mr. Ed's mouth and it looked like he was talking. Like, they didn't even try.
No, not
Oh,
really.
man.
Can we have a moment of silence for the character who passes away in this 10 minutes?
That the f***ing dies.
Okay, I'd like to
A moment of
talk...
silence, you jerk off.
Alright, we'll take about 5 seconds.
Thank you, everybody. Of
course.
That was very
I
tasteful.
would like to call some serious attention to this. So in this 10-minute interval we watched, Kyle is walking Lionel Spaulding's dog Neil on the roof.
Lionel Spaulding's back, baby.
Lionel Spaulding's back,
Hell
and
yeah.
bigger than ever. So he's walking his dog, and as Dunstan's escaping the recently robbed hotel room, he climbs up to the roof for whatever reason, even though Lord Rutledge's room was lower than Mrs. Della Croce's room. I don't know why he'd be going to the roof. But he goes up there.
Plot hole in Dunstan.
Ding! So Neil smells Dunstan and jumps off the f***ing roof.
It's implied that he was trying to find Dunstan, but no, he charges full speed toward the edge and jumps off the roof of this hotel. We cannot stress this enough. This is a tiny little dog.
Tiny.
Either Dunstan is incredibly good at tempting people to suicide, which
Like a
which
vampire.
I'm finding
Yes.
could be true in my own personal life, but also either that or that is the dumbest dog that has ever lived. This dog has no regard for its own life. It just barrels off the side of the building. There are not one, not two, but 3 shots of this dog falling, just
Yep.
plummeting at terminal velocity.
Just to rub it in, we get a scene from inside Lionel Spaulding's apartment or hotel room, and you watch Neil plummet from out the window there while Lionel is none the wiser.
Oh, I also, apart from this little 2-second scene, something I never noticed before that is actually genuinely funny. He's reading a book entitled "When Bad Things Happen to Good People."
Yes.
Which is Lionel Spaulding's character arc throughout this entire movie.
Okay, but back to the suicide of Neil. The funniest part,
Ripping
the
spaghetti.
funniest part of this, and this might be slightly a spoiler, but after this scene, we don't see him ever again.
We don't.
Which leads me to believe that he was originally supposed to have actually died.
Oh no, they just added that barking in post.
Yeah, I see that. I
Oh.
actually, like, we've seen how close that Lionel Spaulding is to his dog. Like, he brings him everywhere. Why would he? Like, when we see Lionel Spaulding throughout the rest of the movie, all over, why
No
would
Neil?
he just not bring Neil all of the sudden? It doesn't. So I think he genuinely was supposed to fucking die.
In a children's movie.
How many kids were traumatized by the dead dog test screening? Dunstan checks in.
It was no big deal that he broke into a woman's room and wore her panties and all
Yeah,
this
but no
other
dog
psychosexual
suicide.
It's okay
bullshit.
when a dog
But dog
does it,
suicide.
or a monkey does it, but when I do it, I get arrested.
Diegetically,
Dun, dun.
Neil is suggested to have landed in a dumpster, which, by the way, there's heroin needles in there. Neil is dead, bro.
Yeah.
This is New
Or
York.
he's
There's
addicted
2
to heroin.
homeless men in there right now.
Yeah, they're using
They're
Neil.
eating him. Or,
Dear God.
oh no, we're not.
Oh,
He's,
no.
they're
To
not
gain
using him.
affection.
Okay.
You know,
and
homeless
also
people does.
smuggle heroin.
But, yeah, and then Neil takes, Kyle takes Neil, all dirtied up, back to Lionel Spaulding, who, of course, is not happy that his dog is covered in garbage and almost committed suicide. But then the child remains there expecting a tip.
Incredible.
This is also the scene that broke Jason Alexander and just turned him fully into George Costanza.
Yes, it did.
So you throw a dog in the garbage, Jerry. I mean, Kyle.
I mean, Kyle.
Oh, he really goes full George Costanza with the line read, "There was a smelly ledge monster."
That's what I wrote the exact
Exact same thing too.
Just in
One
quotes.
time we all call smelly ledge monster.
Oh my gosh.
After
And
Kyle
he-
tells his
of-
father
someone-
that there is a freaking monster out terrorizing the hotel, and that Neil smelled him and was compelled to commit suicide.
And also tried to make out with him.
Yes,
A
and that the
small
monster
child.
tried to make out with him. What's his name? Robert throws his hands in the air and says, "Oh, it was the smelly ledge monster." And I can't really blame him.
Well, the reason he yelled is that if you turn the audio down a bit, you can hear the heavy footfalls of Michael Richards sprinting for the door for the entire length of the film. He's just trying to get there so he can throw the George.
Oh my gosh.
He never made it. He
Also,
was too mad.
another point, right after Neil jumps off the ledge, Kyle looks down, Dunstan sneaks over and plants him a smooch and statutory rapes a boy.
Jesus Christ.
And-
How old is Dunstan, Adam?
In monkey years, he's probably 5. No, he's got to be at least 8 because...
Oh, well, that's
What's the
okay.
lifespan of
But,
a
yeah.
orangutan?
but lifespan of orangutans like 20 years, so he's in fact like
Like a 30-year-old
30
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, and so Kyle gets a good look at him. He gets the orangutan spit all over his face when he gets full mouth kissed by the monkey.
And this is where the COVID virus came from.
It's true. This is what happened.
The fact that he I mean, I'm no monkey expert. I've seen a couple monkeys in my life before,
Name 'em.
but
That's what I thought.
I see
Liberal.
where you're going with this.
Yeah.
no, like
And I'm
like,
suddenly realizing
he refers to it as a monster. He
Child's never seen just never seen an orangutan before.
But this is in line with his character. I hate to keep going back to this, but this idiot keeps
Sounds close.
he was dressing up in a scuba outfit, staring in a fish tank. So I feel like this is not too out of line and out of the realm of possibility. I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt for being a 7-year-old and I a 26-year-old man. So I'll give him that.
We have to ask the hard question. Is Kyle on the spectrum? Is the spectrum a thing in the 90s?
Okay, but if Kyle knows about sharks and has a bloodlust for them, becoming the shark fighter, he has to know what a Dunstan is, right?
A Dunstan.
Yeah.
Yes, I think this is correct.
I feel like we're missing the fact that in the same scene where Jason Alexander goes full George, it's also implied that he knows his son is a pervert.
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
He grounds Brian, the elder son, from using, quote, the security room for his own sick voyeuristic pleasures.
Sickening.
This is-
Truly.
When Brian was single grounded, he could still do that. That was fine.
Yeah, it was
He
no
just
big deal.
jack his big old cock
You can
off.
still peep some hotties in a changing room when you're single grounded. When you're double grounded,
It's
no
a
more
no-go.
jacking
It's a
off.
no-go.
Like he had to specifically set these rules out. He's like, Brian, look, the mind wants what the mind wants. If you want to fondle your beanbag while you look at Euro babes, that's okay. Unless you're double grounded, that's where we draw the line.
Brian,
Yeah.
look, you're in the heating vents. They get hot. It smells so bad. They all smell it, Brian. They can all smell what you're doing up there. It smells so
smells-
stinky.
It smells like an orangutan.
Smells
This is what's
stinky.
keeping us from the 6th star, Dunstan. Brian, this is what's keeping the 6th star away. This hotel smells like hot coffee.
It smells like teenage boy pancakes.
That's horrible.
There's something so inherently threatening about Brian. I can't put my finger on it. I think it's the middle part combined with the flannel and the way too long. Like, is he wearing jeans or is he wearing really long jean shorts? Because I feel threatened.
You're right. He's got that he's got the more Kyle vibe, honestly.
True. He should have been a Kyle. He should have been Kyle. I feel like he's gonna go to college and just tear community college the up. It's just never gonna be the same after he arrives.
Did anyone else notice how much Kyle looks like a young Charles Manson?
I
Like
am now.
the hair, like he looks exactly like Charles Manson did as a young adult.
Yeah.
And the fact that he loves watching people on cameras.
True.
And
This is my new favorite meta narrative that both of Jason Alexander's children are just serial killer reincarnations because I'm kind of now getting the Dylan Roof vibe. I gotta say.
What do you got, Drew?
Sam bringing up that meta narrative just made me think of what Robert Grant is going through right now. And he thinks that his son took a guest dog up to the roof and threw him off. He
Garbage.
thinks that his 10-year-old son threw a guest dog off the roof and it happened to get caught in the garbage.
This man has so much to deal
You're
with.
grounded for trying to murder a dog in the worst possible way.
So he has an inkling. He's got to know that they're going to be serial killers.
Also,
Oh yeah.
for throwing the dog into the garbage, why did he ground Brian too?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking about that.
Maybe he's finally grounding him for his voyeurism.
Is it implied that Brian was supposed to be with Kyle? They were supposed to like be together, and then that's why they threw in that little bit where he was like, "Peace, I'm going out to go."
Yeah, he's like,
skateboard
we're
and
not
jerk
doing
off,"
anything.
or whatever he does.
I'm jerking off in the vents again, Kyle.
I'm making my teenage boy pancake.
Jesus
You gotta
Christ.
stop that.
That's the last time, but it's funny.
I have a fun Jason Alexander anecdote quick. The first time I ever became aware of his existence was when I watched the movie Pretty Woman. I didn't know what Seinfeld was until like a couple years ago. And in Pretty Woman, he plays like a douchebag, like business partner of Richard Gere. And in the end, he tries to rape Julia Roberts. That's like a fun little thing they threw in to reconcile the two main characters. And I hate to say this, there's this line where he's like, he like throwing her to the floor and he's like, oh, like $50? Oh, like, can I, like, cause she's a prostitute. He's like, oh, I have $50. Oh, you're a $50 whore, baby. And the whole time I'm watching this scene that's running through my head, I'm like, I'm in hell. I'm in hell.
This
You're
is
a $50 orangutan, baby.
Maybe my earlier theory that this movie is set in hell and all of the characters are dead. Maybe it's true. Maybe this hotel is like the actual hotel hell, where once you die, you just go to Jason Alexander's hotel, where he's just a terrible person and his children are both pervert murderers.
Pervert murderers.
And they're going to spunk on you while you sleep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. True.
Why can you say it, but I can't?
Because you said
Horrible.
teenage boy pancake.
Those are equally awful.
Oh, my
Kids are
goodness.
sex perverts, Jerry.
They're freaking sex perverts.
They both are, seriously. There's something
they've been
in Brian's
hanging
eyes
out
that's
with
just
Kramer
helter
too
skelter
much.
behind the eyes. It's awful. It's awful.
Hey, Olivia,
Yeah.
what's the final line of this 10-minute batch?
I hope that we're talking about the same thing because I have written down, quote, show daddy what you've got. And I,
That's the one.
As he interrogates the monkey about
And he being
all the
Lord
jewelry.
Rutledge.
Yeah, Lord Rutledge interrogates Dustin about all the jewelry he stole.
Dustin
Dusting.
Dustin.
Hoffman, who famously
Dustin.
played Monkey.
And the fact that actor that he is.
Hey, a monkey here!
Oh my god. Disgusting. Show daddy what you've got. What the where are we going with this?
We're hitting Epstein levels that shouldn't even be possible,
Seriously, this
baby.
is upsetting.
Oh man, it's like you think you see the weirdness running in one direction, like flowing from one character, but all characters just like brimming glasses of perversion, just slowly like spilling and intermingling on the floor of this hotel.
Right,
Everyone's
like
sick.
it's. Have you ever seen like the thing where they stack like the champagne glasses, like
Yes.
style?
Oh
That's
my
a
God.
perfect.
That's exactly what it is. Like
Lord
it all
Rutledge is
starts
at the
from
top.
Lord Rutledge and it all spills down.
Show daddy
Kyle,
what you
Brian, Robert,
Horrifying.
Delacroce, DeBrow, Victor DeBrow, Lionel Spaulding.
We can
Wow.
remember all these characters' names. They're so distinct and memorable for their own just horrible weirdness. It's like Twin Peaks,
Yes.
where you just remember everybody because you're like, that's weird.
That's fucking
Yeah,
weird.
I think I was talking to Sam about this before we started filming. We were talking about how, like, every one of these characters has like their own personal little quirk. Like they spent so much time working on the characters that they didn't bother to work on the plot.
One bit.
Oh, hey, Olivia, since you're here,
What's up?
can you answer what the plot of this movie is?
Thank you for asking.
yes
I
or no?
absolutely cannot. Not for a second.
Can you tell us things that happened in Dunstan?
I can tell you the things that just happened in the last 5 minutes, but before that, absolutely nothing.
Good, that was a test. No spoilers other than the actual literal death of Neil.
This
Yeah.
movie is like it's like the kind of experience where like when you go into a fugue state, like you can only experience the movie while watching it and for brief moments after. It's like a dream. It's so
Absolutely.
fleeting. Once you leave, Dunstan checks in. It's like
You
all
check out.
knowledge of it. Yeah, all knowledge of it just slowly drains from your brain. Like if someone one day later were to ask me, "What did you watch yesterday?" I'd be like, "I think there was a monkey."
Also,
Absolutely.
at this time, upon that little notion right there, I'd like to do a little callback to something that Sam said in the last episode, I believe. Dunstan actually never checks into the hotel.
You're right. Yeah. he
And,
never does.
like-
Oh my god.
And I'm like, I didn't think anything of it, but after I let that sit for a week, I thought about it more, and like I got horribly depressed. My beard fully developed. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I drank a lot.
Adam lost 50 pounds between this and the last recording.
Skin and bones. He looks like a meth head. There's just nothing left.
Oh,
But
but
that
I did
takes
a
us-
lot of meth.
Oh, yeah, that explains it.
That's the Dunstan effect, baby.
Dunstan brand meth.
It's the Dunstan, the Santa Dunstan diet.
Mr. White, we can't keep watching Dunstan checks in. Jesse, that monkey is funny.
I love it.
For some
That's what
reason,
we
when
need.
Dunstan opened the suitcase, I really wanted it to be the suitcase from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Like, Dunstan just opened the suitcase with just every drug in it.
Yes.
Dunstan's like, alright, gotta rob this apartment, a little bit of PCP.
Love it.
Sam, what do you think happens next in Dunstan?
I'm glad you asked, Drew. I've been thinking a lot about this over the past week. I've been, like, putting together all the plot threads. So
And now you have all this new information to go on.
So it's interesting. It's like trying to. It's like in cartoons when someone grabs like the thread of the shirt and like keeps pulling it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm trying to make a shirt out of the other end of that thread. I'm trying to sew the shirt back up from the bottom because every time I kind of figure out where one plot thread might go. 15 new plot threads are introduced in the movie. So I'm kind of thinking at this point that what's gonna turn out at the end of the movie is that the kids are gonna go upstairs. They're gonna figure out about Lord Rutledge's plot, and they're gonna try to get the jewelry back and give it back, and they're gonna try to save the day and everything. And as they finally figure out where his room is, they're gonna go up to the room, open the door, and they're gonna find Dunstan hunched over the emaciated corpse of Rutledge, tearing his internal organs out and eating them in large, meaty chunks. He's gonna look at the camera and go. And then Brian's gonna spike the camera and say, "Eat the rich, dude." And then the credits are gonna play.
Oh,
Like it's like the credits come up and there's like no music, like American Werewolf in London.
Yes.
It just comes. It's so somber.
Even better, Dunstan clutching just chunks he's ripped off of Lord Rutledge. He turns to the boys, to the camera, and he goes, "Show Daddy what you've got." Credits!
He turns around and opens his mouth. He's wearing his teeth.
Yes!
Oh my gosh, that would be horrible. Like the end of the Vivitch, where all of a sudden the Dunstan could talk the whole time.
Dunstan
Oh,
was the
man.
devil the whole time.
Oh man, if like mid being eaten by Dunstan, Lord Rutledge looks over at the boys and he says, "Dunstan can make nosy little lords disappear."
Oh, Jesus.
But
Who is Dunstan's voice actor? You can spoil this part of the movie for me.
Chevy Chase, I believe.
Chevy
in
Chase.
This part.
God.
Oh no.
it's funny because Sam didn't even get to the absurd part of that prediction. He was making a logical prediction that the boys like find out Lord Rutledge's plot and return the diamonds and stuff. And all three of us who have seen the movie started laughing because that is so reasonable but so freaking
so
far
not
off
what
base.
happened.
So not true.
That's what
Actually-
my favorite part of this segment is. I know that every week I'm gonna have a completely different answer.
It's the like. Let's try and remember. I can't remember what you said the first week. The first week you said that you thought Jason
Bestiality.
Alexander was gonna have a really tasteful bestiality sex scene with the
Dear
monkey.
God. Dear
Yeah,
God.
well, you gotta keep in mind, it's only the first 10 minutes. All we know is that everyone's really fucking horny.
Yes.
And that their mom is dead and that he needs some.
Yes, this is the
And
horniest
there's a
place on
monkey.
earth. Disneyland for sex offenders. This is the horniest place on earth.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Beautiful on key singing.
Yes.
How do monkeys sing?
They go.
Everyone on key.
I don't want to do that spit thing on my mask.
I know it's horrible, but sometimes it's gotta happen.
It's icky.
Corona, baby. If only Dunstan hadn't kissed that boy and started Corona.
Oh, that's how it did start. Oh, man.
And then he checked into the Majestic in Beijing. Is it?
Come on.
The Dunstan flu.
Jesus.
Well, now we can't pretend this was recorded in 2016 anymore.
Was that what we were going for?
I think I
we
said that at one
mentioned
point. You're asking me to remember what I said last week when I just watched 10 minutes of Dunstan Checks In. It's
Yeah.
like a reset for the mind.
Oh, also on the way before we got here, Sam and I were also talking about a potential 10 seconds of Dunstan, or just any movie in general, just reviewing 10 seconds.
So when you talk about like taking a silly idea like this and then going like even more extreme with it for
Yes.
like a one-off special, it's like, well, what can we do? Oh, we can do like a director's commentary. Well, then that's only the length of like 2 regular episodes. That's like not. That's kind of funny, but that's not how I do things. I like to go so over the top with them that it's like completely stupid. So I'm like, well, what if we watch it 10 seconds at a time?
And then I started thinking one frame and we would probably
Every
not,
frame of Dunstan.
we would not finish the movie before all of us inevitably died.
Okay, that's what we do when we transition into just a personality podcast. This is every frame of Dunstan. We start out with like 15 minutes of discussion about this one frame of Dunstan, and it just goes immediately off the rails.
God, just imagine how many weeks we have to go through just to get through the cleaning scene at the beginning of the movie.
But at least my laser
They're still cleaning. They're still cleaning the same gate.
Yeah. So anyway, anybody seen Breaking Bad?
No, actually.
Speaking of fever dreams, yeah. I watched the entire series right after my wisdom teeth taken out. And I was so hopped up on pain meds that I was like slipping in and out of consciousness and having Breaking Bad fever dreams, to where I was like having near anxiety attacks because I thought I was running drugs and running away from the police.
Jesse, we need to get the monkey back. He's got all our drugs in his fanny pouch. Mr.
That was-
White.
That was a bangin' fanny pack, by the way. That was gorgeous. I needed
But
that.
I think that this side tangent is a pretty good sign that it's about time for us to check out. Anybody have any final thoughts?
Dunstan checks out.
Dunstan checks out of life.
Whatever.
Dunstan checks that dog off this mortal coil.
Dunstan checks in to maximum security prison.
Dunstan checks in to the flight logs for Epstein's private island.
Lord Rutledge's private island?
And Lord Rutledge was there. Ronald Reagan was there.
Well, they had to rename it after Dunstan ate Rutledge. Because monkeys aren't legally allowed to own property, sadly. So his best friend, Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh man, I wanted to make a joke.
Also,
there so
fun
bad.
fact, that's who Jeffrey the Giraffe from Toys R Us is named after.
Are you freaking kidding me?
No,
No!
it's not even spelled the same.
For a second, I
Joffrey
swear to God, I was
Yeah.
like,
He was actually.
That's a weirdly
no.
terrifyingly believable
Yeah.
fact, isn't it?
we live in that kind of world. For a split second, I was like, man, that's so sad. Because I'm a fucking idiot.
Well, until next time.
Well, the good news is I'm a liar.
Thank you very much for joining us, everybody, in our insane quest to conquer Dunstan 10 minutes at a time. I have been Drew.
I've been Sam.
I've been Adam.
And I have been Olivia.
Keep it fresh, everybody, and check in to join us next week as we tackle 30 minutes to 40?
40 to 50, baby.
No, not 40 to 50.
No, we did 0
0
to
to
10,
10.
10 to 20. Now we're 30 to 40.
Yeah, 30 to 40.
Wait.
Wait, we
Wait.
just did 30
We just
to
did
40.
30
I'm right. Stop gaslighting me.
Sam,
No, we did not.
Yeah, 0 to 10.
This is
No,
the
this was
third-
20 to 30.
This is the third episode.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
0 to 10.
Oh man.
Welcome to Gaslighting on Dunstan.
Welcome
Anyway.
to We're All Bad at Math.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good week.
Don't forget, have fun. Go mad.
Have fun living in the city.
That was Edging on Dunstan, the podcast where three buffoons analyze Dunstan checks in 10 minutes at a time. You can email us at edgingpodcast@gmail.com. If you want your email featured on the show, make sure to let us know if we can use your name. Edging on Dunstan is a podcast by Sam, featuring Adam and Drew. Editing is by Adam. Intro is Right to Ascension, written by Sam and remixed by Adam. Special thanks this episode goes to Olivia for putting up with our madness.